Hi everyone, I'm Jack. My YouTube channel is Reading with Jack, and today I'm here for the student room to talk about what to do if you can't go to a university open day. I know that a few weeks ago I made a video about what to do if you can go to an open day, the tips and tricks that I would give. Hopefully some of you found that video useful, and when you went to open days, if you've already been, you took some of the tips on board and just had a really good day. However, I'm sure that there will be some of you out there that were unfortunately unable to go to open days for various reasons, and I didn't want to leave you out of this whole experience, which is really important. And I wanted to make a video about alternatives to open days so that you can pick the right university and the right course for you. My first piece of advice is to go onto the university's website and look at the different courses and the ones that you want to apply to, and make sure that you learn about the course in a lot of depth, learn about the specifics of the course. When I was applying to university, I applied for French and Spanish. Most of the courses had the exact same title, but the actual content of the course was completely different. Some of them dealt a lot with the literature and the culture behind the language, others dealt more with the grammar and the speaking, the communication side of things. It's really important that you look at things like this, look at the specifics, because even if something has the same name, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll be covering the same thing. Usually on the websites you can find information about modules that you'll be able to pick. It's really important that you're enthusiastic and passionate about the modules that you'll be taking so that you succeed and enjoy your university experience. As well as information about modules and course content, a lot of universities will have frequently asked questions in some sort of section on their website, either be the department website or just the university-wide website if you want to learn about the university on a more general level. Make sure you make the most of these, because a lot of people will have had questions that you also have and that you want to know the answers to, and they'll be online on the websites, and that's a really great way to find new information that you need to know. My second tip is kind of related to that, however. I know that some people will have very specific questions that are quite individual and personal to them, and if you are one of those people and you can't find any information on the websites, don't be scared to send emails to the admissions tutors. Usually on the websites there'll be email addresses for people that you can contact if you have any questions and queries. Make the most of that. Don't be scared or frightened to send an email to these people. It's really important that when you get to actually applying to the courses on UCAS and you actually press the submit button, that you are really happy and confident with your choices and that you know everything that you might want to know about them. If you've got any doubts or uncertainties, you absolutely must ask people. These admissions tutors are paid to answer your questions and to sort out the whole process of applying, so make the most of them. They're there. Send emails and do whatever you need to get the information that you want. The third piece of advice I'm going to give is something that probably most of you already do. You actually probably found this video through the Student Room's website. The advice I'm giving is to make the most of the Student Room's website. It's a website with so much information about university applications, university life, university courses. There is so much on there and so much information that you can find useful. A section of the forum I would particularly recommend is the universities and higher education colleges, because on there you'll find little subsections, and each university, each college or whatever will have a place where you can go and specifically ask about that university. There'll be people on there talking about their experiences at that university and just focusing on that, and it's really good that you look at individual universities specifically, because as I said before, they all vary in terms of their approach to things. Usually at the top of these pages there'll be sticky threads where there are frequently asked questions, and you can find a lot of information that other people wanted to know in the past. But equally, if you can't find information about something you want to know, make a thread. Someone will answer, because people in the student room are really friendly. They do want to help you out. Another section I would recommend looking at on the student room is the university and university courses section, which isn't really specific to certain universities. It's more about the course that you're applying to. For me, when I was applying, I looked at the foreign languages forum, and on there I found a lot of threads actually comparing different universities, comparing different courses, people sharing their experiences to help other people. Also, don't forget, on the student room there are lots of articles as well with tips and advice about how to apply to university, what courses are like at different universities. There's so much information on the articles as well. The final piece of advice I'm going to give today is about something that I think a lot of people don't realise how important it actually is, and it's about picking the the right place for you. When you apply to university, it's really important that you choose a town or a city that you feel comfortable in, and a town or a city where you can imagine yourself living. It's really easy if you go to open days in person to get a feeling of what is right for you. You just have this kind of instinct that that is the place to apply to. But if you're unable to go to an open day, you obviously still need a way to find out if the university and the place is right for you. The first thing I would say is to look at tourist websites, because usually you can find a lot of information about activities that are going on in the area. They're not necessarily specific to student life, but it's quite nice to know what actually goes on in that town outside of the university bubble. It's great to get involved in things like societies within the university, but it's also really nice to know what you can get up to in the area. You know, is there somewhere you can go and meet with friends? You know, what kind of things you can do in your free time. I would also recommend going on YouTube and looking at videos from the university where people talk about their experiences as students, but also look for videos that are more touristy, so kind of like tours of the town or the city where people walk around and show you different things. There are a lot of photographers on YouTube that actually make videos with some really beautiful snapshots of the places that you might be living. Something as well about getting to know what the town's like and kind of navigating that I would recommend is to use Google Street View. Go on the map of the town, get the little orange person and put it where you want to be, and you'll be able to go around the streets and explore on your own. It sounds really weird and it probably is a bit strange to do this, but I actually did it and I found that it was quite useful just to kind of navigate around, get a little bit of a feel for it. It's not the same as visiting in person, obviously, and you usually find that Google Street View, they actually film quite early in the morning when no one's around, so it's nowhere near as busy on Street View as it is in real life. But, you know, it's still a great way to kind of navigate around and get an idea of what the place is like. So everyone, that is it for today's video about applying to university and kind of what to do if you can't go to an open day. I hope that you find some of this advice useful and you'll be able to use it if you're unable to visit certain universities, because I know sometimes it's just impossible to visit every single one. I would still recommend trying to visit your firm and insurance choices. I think it's really important that you do visit them if possible. But for your other choices, you know, there's nothing wrong with using the internet. The internet is a fantastic place with a wealth of resources out there. You can find so much information on the internet nowadays and you'll be able to learn loads that you want to know. You'll be able to get all your questions answered. So, you know, don't worry if you can't go to open days. It is obviously good to go in person, but if you can't, it's not necessarily the end of the world. So thanks for watching everyone, and I will see you all again in my next video.